Good, happy Monday morning, November 9, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the morning show with Riley King. It's time to rise and shine and get this Monday off to a good start. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the morning show with Riley King. And grab that cup of coffee and relax and enjoy this morning show. I hope you all enjoy. Let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with your COVID-19 updates. And let's take a look at those COVID-19 updates from Johns Hopkins University in Medicine. And here's a look at those COVID-19 updates from Johns Hopkins University in Medicine. Your global cases are 50,493,472. In the U.S., 9,972,333. Your global deaths are 1,257,747. U.S. deaths are 237,584. And deaths recovered, deaths 33,694 deaths and 80,646 recovered. That is a look at your COVID-19 update from Johns Hopkins University in Medicine. And now let's get to the news. Religious leaders welcome Joe Biden's election as second Catholic to win presidency. To everything, there is a season, Biden said in his victory speech. Former Vice President Joe Biden on Saturday became the second Catholic to be elected president and very quickly invoked his faith for his future in the White House. Some prominent U.S. Catholic leaders praised the historic moment over the weekend as they welcomed the president-elect. During his victory speech Saturday night, Biden, who regularly attends Mass and has long been open about his faith, quoted ECCLESIASTES 3:1-3 from the Bible. To everything, there is a season, a time to build, a time to reap, a time to sorrow, and a time to heal, he said. This is the time to heal in America. He also ended his speech by quoting a Catholic hymn on eagle's wings to underscore his message of unity and healing. And now, together on eagle's wings, we embark on the work that God and history have called us to do with full hearts and steady hands, with faith in America and in each other, with love of country, a thirst for justice, he said. Let us be a nation that we know we can be, a nation united, a nation strengthened, a nation healed. Father James Martin, who delivered the closing benediction at the Democratic National Convention and serves as an advisor to Pope Francis, tweeted that Biden's use of hymen made his phone buzz like crazy. This means 4 years of not only a Catholic president, but an ingestion of Catholic culture into our national conversation in a way probably not seen since JFK, he tweeted. John F. Kennedy became the first Catholic president when he was elected in 1960. Over Biden's years in office in Senate and as vice president, he has pushed for inclusive policies like legal same-sex marriage and progressive goals like increased aid to the poor. Pope Francis has promoted similar ideals recently, indicating his support for gay civilian unions in a bark with Catholic tradition. In 2015, Biden told the weekly Jurist published American magazine that he shared a lot of the Pope's directions. He's the embodiment of Catholic social society. I was raised with, Biden said of Francis. The idea that everyone is entitled to dignity, that the poor should be given special preferences, that you have an obligation to reach out and be inclusive. Despite the historic nature of his presidential run, Biden did not have a landslide victory with Catholic voters, according to ABC News exit polls. Roughly 51% of respondents who identified as Catholic voted Democrat in this year's election, according to the poll. Some conservative Catholics who disagree with Biden on issues like abortion voted instead for Donald Trump. Last year, a priest in South Carolina denied Biden communion due to the former vice president's stance on abortion. Biden, however, received commendations from Catholic leaders after he was declared the winner of the election Saturday. Sister Simon Campbell, head of the Catholic Social Justice Lobby Group Network and leader of Nuns on the Bus, said in a statement that Catholics aren't the one-issue voters. Our community looked for the integrity of Donald Trump's division and harmful record and chose to elect leaders who will govern the empathy and concern for most magnaculos. Catholics rejected racism, hatred, and division and embraced the politics championed by Pope Francis, a politics of love and inclusion, she said in a statement. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, which represents all the nation's bishops, also congratulated Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris in a statement and called for unity among Americans. How the presidential transition between Trump and Biden will work. There are just 2 months to get an incoming president White House ready. Now that the 2020 campaign is over, President-elect Joe Biden has secured enough electoral college votes to become the next president of the United States. The hard work of forming a government begins. In the short sprint from Election Day to Inauguration Day, there are mounting of work to be done in order to transition from one president to the next. Keeping both the incoming president-elect and outgoing president safe is the most critical aspect of the presidential transition, as Secret Service ensures they are able to do their jobs, while the Secret Service provides protection to both the incumbent president and the other candidates during an election. Once the president-elect is named, that protective umbrella expands and becomes more interactive. That Secret Service enhancement typically begins with the director or a designee meeting with the president-elect and vice president-elect and sometimes their families to cover any questions and concerns. Part of this meeting involves a briefing focused on what they may face, including everything from intensive media scrutiny to threats from terror organizations. These briefings are highly sensitive due to the impact of Secret Service protection on family members. Secret Service protection includes 24-hour staffing, monitoring, and tracking. However, family members may choose to decline a Secret Service detail, as Donald Trump Jr. did for a short period of time in the fall of 2017. Under 18 U.S. Code 3056, only the president-elect and vice president-elect are required to maintain protection. The president-elect and his team must also undergo a myriad of briefings about every fact of nation's policy and operations. This includes the president's daily briefing, which becomes available to the president-elect, and background briefings to convert actions. The PDB and convert briefings are led by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and Central Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, the Federal Bureau of Information, and the Department of Homeland Security, and help bring the incoming administration up to speed on the world's political dynamics, potential threats, and other details a president needs to know to keep the nation safe. In an interview for the Center for Presidential Transition podcast, Michael Morrell, a former acting and deputy director of CIA and President George W. Bush's daily intelligence briefer, said the briefings are important because on inaugural day, these covert actions will become the new precedents for most incoming administration. This is when the real weight of the presidency sinks in. While a campaign can be full of rhetoric and bombast, the issue occurring in the world often temper talking points. While the physical scrutiny is increasing and intelligence briefings are taking place under the President Transition Act, the President-elect is also given assistance from the General Service Administration, GSA, as they prepare to assume office. The GSA helps with much of the logistics of an incoming administration, including identifying transitional office space and selecting a moving company to help move the incoming president into the White House, and pays for expenses that are incurred during the presidential transition. An incoming administration also forms a transition team which must help identify candidates for around 4,000 political appointment positions, of which about 1,200 require Senate confirmations, according to the Center for Presidential Transition. The details of these positions are listed in what is commonly called the Palm Book, which is published by the GSA. The book also lays out the name of all the employees holding those positions in the current administration. Meanwhile, the president-elect typically also has a meeting with the current president at the White House, while the First Lady greets the incoming First Lady. Part of this meeting is formalities. The other is for logistics. The president-elect and spouses receive a tour of the White House and are asked a myriad of questions related to the White House decor functions, likes and dislikes. While they do that, staff members of the current and incoming administration are talking and meeting to try to create a seamless and transfer as possible. The next time the president-elect typically sees the White House is on Inauguration Day, where in 12-hour marathon, the White House staff will move the current president out and the new president in, with occupancy time of 12:01 p.m. Alex Trebek, in his own words. Let's take a listen to that video.
Tonight we leave you with a bit of trivia. The legendary game show host who brought joy to American homes for decades. Who is the one and only Alex Trebek? And now, here is the host of Super Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
I got into broadcasting because I applied for a summer job to help make money to pay for my junior year at college. I did well at school. I was fairly bright, and I've always enjoyed intellectual games. I love acquiring knowledge, even useless knowledge.
Welcome to America's favorite answer and question game, Jeopardy.
It has helped me to become the person I am. It's the kind of program you can watch with every member of your family. There's something for kids. There's something for the grandparents.
Treat every day as a blessing. Try to be aware of when you leave this earth that you've made a difference in the lives of other people.
How do you do it?
Oh gosh, as a decent guy who did his best to help the contestants perform at their best. If you do that properly, the viewers will look on you as a good guy. He's a nice guy. And I like him. And if that's the way they remember me down the line, perfectly happy with that.
Alex Trebek was 80 years old and a very, very good guy. And a reminder, a special tribute to the beloved host airs tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Yamas in York. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Good night.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And our thoughts and prayers go to his family and friends. And if you missed our special broadcast of Remembering Alex Trebek, we have it up on the Riley King Network Facebook page. Just be sure to look for it there. Daily guidance and press schedule for Monday, November 9th, 2020. At 3:00 p.m. today, the Vice President leads a White House coronavirus task force meeting in the White House Situation Room. We can also tell you there had not been a meeting in weeks due to the campaign schedule. Dr. Jill Biden plans to continue teaching, potentially becoming the only First Lady to hold a paid job outside of the White House. Oil spill cleanup continues along Delaware, Maryland coast. Crews are continuing a cleanup operation from an oil spill that affected a significant stretch of the coastline in Delaware and Maryland. The spill was detected on October 19th as oil washed ashore at Broadkill Beach in Delaware and was spared by tidal action. Crews have removed an estimated 75 tons of oil sand debris from the coastal areas. The beach in Lewis remains closed, officials said in Delaware. Officials are urging people visiting other affected beaches to stay out of the water and not walk along the wreck or high tide line. And let's turn in and switch gears into weather. Let's talk about the weather now. Tropical storm Ada closed on South Florida. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
That new hurricane threat, Tropical Storm Ada now gaining strength as it closes in on the Florida Keys. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Key West tonight.
Tonight, Tropical Storm Ada battering South Florida after crashing into Cuba. The storm packing winds of up to 65 miles per hour, expected to strengthen into a hurricane before slamming the Florida Keys later tonight.
We do recommend, of course, that residents shelter in place, of course, with the proper COVID-19 precautionary measures.
Hurricane warnings posted in the Keys, Miami under a tropical storm warning. The governor declaring a state of emergency for 8 counties. The storm hitting Central America as a catastrophic Category 4 hurricane last week, leaving dozens dead and more than 100 people missing. Flooding and mudslides wiping out entire villages. U.S. soldiers swooping in on helicopters, rescuing children and families. Ada is expected to rip through the Florida Keys at or near hurricane strength. The biggest concerns here tonight, storm surge and flooding. Some spots could see up to 4 feet. Tom?
All right, Victor, you and your team stay safe tonight.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at the weather today across the country. And here is today's weather forecast across the United States today. In Boston, we'll see temperatures 69 degrees. New York, temperatures 76 degrees. Way up here, we'll see 45 degrees. In Kansas City, 75 degrees. Around El Paso, 76 degrees. Dallas, 76 degrees. San Francisco, 59 degrees with rain. Miami, 78 degrees with rain. Tampa, cloudy, 82 degrees. And Jacksonville, 81 degrees and cloudy. So, different parts of the area will see different parts of weather today across the United States. And that is a look at your weather. Let's switch gears now, and let's take a look at this video. Being an involved father is so important to this stay-at-home dad. Let's learn why. 4 steps to being an involved father. Let's take a look at those steps.
My name is Devontae Bennett, aka Papa Bennett, and today we're going to be talking about engaging your child. When I first became a stay-at-home father, I realized just how difficult it was to really spend time with the boys. I always wanted to spend more time with the boys, and I had the opportunity. I just didn't know what to do. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot harder than I had thought. At the time, I only had 2 sons, and we had a third one on the way, and they were little balls of energy. Finding a way to spend time with the both of them and spending equal time with both of them, just spending time with both of them and not having the time to have for myself was incredibly difficult. After numerous times of me trying to spend time with them, it just going completely bananas. Either I would go crazy first, or they just weren't having a good time. I wasn't having a good time. I had to do some research and really meditate on what I could do to get more involved with my kids. So I'd like to share with you guys the 4-step process that I actually came up with on how to get involved with the kids. So step 1, get involved. The first thing that I did when I first started trying to get involved and spend more time becoming an engaged father was pick a part of the day that I could really dive into the kids' life, and we would do something together. We started off with a night routine. I started taking over the night routine. We started by brushing our teeth together. I would get them showered and ready for bed, and then we initiated a thing called Daddy Power, which is really awesome. I'll tell you guys about that later. Step 2 would be to observe and then self-evaluate. So after you picked out what you want to do with the kids, after you set aside that time, and you figured out that, okay, today we're going to spend time no matter what, we're going to do this for a certain amount of hour or for a certain amount of time, whether it's hard for me, you observe yourself, you observe the situation, you sit back, you really sit there and you observe while you're playing. Observe, how am I feeling? Am I getting annoyed? Am I getting irritated? Do the kids seem involved? Am I involved with the kids? Am I just playing on my phone? Are we actually spending time together? Really observe. After that, you go back and you do self-evaluation. Okay? Step 2 for me is personally the most important part. You gotta evaluate. First and foremost, are you parenting with purpose? Are you actually being there, being involved? Are you engaged? Are you guys doing something that's building your guys' bond? Or are you guys just playing video games and kind of just staring at the wall with you? Are you in the same space as each other, being warm bodies together? Are you guys really connecting? Did you guys really find time to connect in that moment? Are you really actually in that moment? You gotta do a lot of self-evaluation. This, like I said, it's the most important part, and it's because children are essentially reflections of ourselves. I keep on going back and saying that, but they are a reflection of ourselves. So if you evaluate yourself, you can find out where your flaws are and where you're going right. You can most likely find out where your children are going right. Step 3, prepare and make plans. So this is very military. After you self-evaluated, you've gone through, you got your notes, you've observed, you've evaluated, you might have to do step 2 multiple times before you really get a system or figure out what you like and don't like. You prepare. Now you can get to the part where you got to prepare for daddy days. Now you start doing it. Now you start making it way more planned. You now know what your kids like, what they don't like. And now you're making plans to go do these things on a regular basis. For instance, me and the boys, they've been asking me to go camping for a long time. We talked about going camping for a long time, and we did. We prepared, or we made plans, bought the equipment, and we went camping, got it prepared, and make the plans. That's step 3. Step 4, real simple, but real important, and that's self-care. Your mind, body, and soul is not there, and you cannot offer your best self to your children, and that's what your children need. Your children deserve your best self at all times. They deserve to have the best parent they can have at all times. It's utterly important, especially when it comes to building a relationship and bonds with your child. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to yell. I mean, you gotta self-evaluate and know where you gotta fix. But it's okay to make mistakes as a parent, as long as you go back and you're constantly fixing, constantly striving for improvement. And self-care is a big part of that, because the only way that you can do better is to make sure that you're taking care of yourself in the moment, after the moment, before, after. Which that's gonna take you back real quick to step 2. Step 2 with the self-evaluation and observation. Do it before, after, and during. How do you feel before you go in to go play with your kid? How are you feeling? How's your attitude? How's your mindset? How's your kid's mindset? How are they feeling? How are y'all feeling during play? Are you having a good time? Is your mind wandering? Are you worried about all the other things? Are you actually in the moment, spending time and connecting with your kids? After, same thing. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you guys have a good time? Reflect. You gotta reflect. It's one of the most important parts. And then one more time, step 1, get involved. Pick a time, a day, a routine, whatever it is, where you can get involved and spend time with your child. Step 2, observe and self-evaluate. Make sure that you are taking note of how you feel before, during, and after. What could have went better, what you did wrong. Step 3, prepare and make plans. Make sure after you take all that data that you've observed, you now know what your child likes, what you like, how far you guys can go. You mix that together and you make a plan of action of how you guys can spend time together more often. And then step 4, another really important step, taking care of yourself. But yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. That's my 4-step plan. Hopefully it helps you guys. Dr. Bennett out.
Okay, there you go. Great information there. How to be involved as a father for your kids. Good steps there. And now we're gonna do a cooking segment now. Ty Jeff James Decker's Tuscan chicken soup with potatoes and other vegetables. Let's take a look at that video and that recipe.
Hey y'all, I'm Jessie James Decker, and I'm so excited to share with you one of my recipes for my brand new cookbook, Just Feed Me. This is going to be the ground chicken Tuscan soup. This is a family favorite from this book, especially during this colder weather that we have coming along. I can't wait to share it with you. So we're gonna get started. First, we're gonna get our celery, our carrots, and I've got my onions over here and the olive oil in the pan already. Soften it up for us. The celery, cup of carrots, and then we're going to add a little bit more olive oil, and I've got some garlic in here, some minced garlic. I've got my potatoes, because we're going to put potatoes in this soup, boiling in some chicken broth. All right, we're going to add our ground chicken. This is already cooked, but you'll obviously have your raw ground chicken. You're going to add it to your vegetables. All right, we're going to stir this up real nice. A little salt, a little pepper. Now I'm going to add my boiled potatoes and the chicken broth over here to our chicken and vegetables. I'm going to add kale. All right, now we're going to add our cream. I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning on top of there. All right, now I'm going to throw this on top, and I'm going to let it just sit here for a while. And then once it's ready, we're going to serve. Good. Okay, it is finally finished. It looks so good and pretty and hearty and delicious. The final touch is to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese. The most important part. And now, I'm going to taste it. That is so good.
Okay, there you go. Looks yummy and delicious. And you can find that cooking video on the Riley King Network Facebook page right after this broadcast. And switching gears now, let's go into entertainment news. Dancing with the Stars pros Lindsay Arnold and Whitney Carson on if they planned being pregnant together. Let's take a listen to that video right now from Entertainment Tonight.
Artem may also want to put some baby gifts on his shopping list. He and fiancée Nikki Bella, who welcomed son Mateo July 31st, just sent this message to fellow dancing pros Lindsay Arnold and Whitney Carson.
We're so excited for you both to be new moms. It honestly is the greatest joy in the whole wide world. There's no better, greater love than this.
It's a true miracle.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That, it was the sweetest thing. Like, I was tearing up. I was like tearing up a little bit. That was so sweet. welcomed her baby girl Monday, 7-pound, 10-ounce Sage Jill. E.T. was with her and Whitney just days earlier at Lindsay's home in Utah.
This is our first interview together pregnant.
It is?
Yeah. Yours is so hard because it's her head. Oh,
That is a full-on skull, just chilling right here.
Whitney's expecting a baby boy in January.
Did you plan this?
No.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually, we got our husbands. We're like, hey, this is happening.
Hey guys, this is a meeting that we're having about babies.
Yes, I know. It's actually insane. We've done so many things in our lives together, so it's like, naturally, why wouldn't we get pregnant together?
What are the pregnancy cravings? Like, what's your late night? I have to have it. Babe, run to the store. In the second trimester, I would always crave a blue Slurpee at the gas station and a Slim Jim.
Oh.
Lindsay worked out until she hit 35 weeks. Whitney says she walks every day to stay active.
That's going to be hard, though, as dancers. I mean, your bodies have been scrutinized and judged.
Yeah.
Your whole
It is
lives.
hard.
It is really hard, especially when you get on the scale. You're like, oh my gosh, I've never been this heavy. But you got to realize, obviously, we're growing a human, which is amazing. Anytime somebody's like, you look so big, I take that as a compliment. Like, I'm like, thank you, that's good.
You're like, that
It means
means it's happening.
Yes, I love it.
And you know we didn't show up to this ET exclusive empty-handed.
Okay, well, E.T. has a little present for you.
Oh, that's so nice. This is so sweet. The best day ever.
Oh my
gosh. E.T., let's go.
I definitely think this is going to have to be the coming home from the hospital outfit, without a doubt.
I love it.
Okay, there you go. Very cool indeed. Congratulations to Lindsay Arnold and Whitney Carson. We can't wait to see their little babies. And let's take a look at those celebrity birthdays for you today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities. We hope they have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. And that's gonna do it for this edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Thank you for joining us for The Morning Show with Riley King. Have a great rest of your day and see you back here later on today with more news coverage. Goodbye, everyone.